Hi, so really didn't realize I just got to the next door shelter. It is about 8:19 in the evening. They will be calling bed check at 9, and I just filed a grievance at the front desk with one of the supervisors, and she's pretty professional. There's a few that are receptive, and one on the fourth floor. This was not right here right now. They did something with the angle of the camera earlier. That's why I left it alone with the technology that they use, and I retweeted it. People will be able to see what they've done with NSA illegal surveillance, and the government knows what that's about. So I don't like slander and defamation of character. That I will do something about eventually. There's a lot of violence, and they're camping out inside the shelters, and they're bringing all kinds of crap. They think that people scare easy, and they can intimidate normal people who need services into leaving here. That's not going to happen. So I reported it, the grievance, and they're coming in with bags and bags and bags of shit, and they can camp out in the aisles or something. And the fire alarm, they had 3 fire alarms go off in 1 month, and that's not even normal. And we all know that the fire alarms, the taxpayers are the ones who have to foot the bill. No, these bitches are responsible for that. So they're not exactly welcome in the city of San Francisco. And they're like, you're not even, no, actually, they've known me for years here. And no community in the United States is going to put an innocent person in danger when all these fuckers are coming from Portland, Oregon. They're coming from Santa Monica. They're coming from Manhattan. They're coming from South Central, Barossio, Sick Fucks. They're coming from Houston. They're coming from Alaska, cop killer Sarah Palin. They're coming from Lafayette, Louisiana. Everybody hates those fuckers. Oh my God, Louisiana is loathed right now. All the criminal bastards and the perverse bastards coming here to take advantage of services. It's unfucking real how evil those bastards are. And we all saw how greedy they were today, and there's nothing fucking wrong with them. And those are the Scientologists and Veterans for Peace is who they are. And we all saw it, and we're like, holy shit, greedy motherfuckers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them, and they like what they do. So I put the video when I was in Javina. They stalked me there, and I put the video to point to the community what the gang rapers look like. And please pay attention to David Rock. He is the manager at Sarah Francis' hometown, 943 10th Avenue, 92101, San Diego. John Thomas Youngren is another one of his gang members. That's what they do when they try to distract people from not minding my own business, I'm here doing my own thing, doing my own business. They started hogging up every other outlet on the wall. So and the rooms that have them. And they're not intelligent, so it's got these big fucking computers. Like, we all know they're dumb, ignorant hicks and shit. And they're bringing their laptops, and they're on it 24 hours a day in the room, and they hog up the entire room in here. And one of them called me a bitch. I had to file a grievance. Then the other idiots hog up the electrical outlets over there. They're camping out all their shits all over the goddamn place, and they pose as a fire hazard. And they're hanging stuff. They're breaking the rules left and right. And then we all know that they're breaking the rules. And so something will be done about it, I'm sure, eventually. So I've spoken to the site manager, and and she's directed me from there. And she told me that she's worried about my safety. So if anything happens, I can leave her a message, and I can also leave another person a message. And this is evidence of what they do to intimidate normal people. Don't be scared. People have a right to use their services. They've been weeding off of and taking advantage of welfare and other social services for a long time. And they've displaced me from my homes on more than 3 occasions. That would be the Sacramento Downtown Project, Midtown Manor, Tina White, Nancy Durthick, David Rock, with Tina Baker, Won't Leave Me Alone, Rhonda Gamma Holmes, 6 years with Tina, and I was a good tenant, perfect tenant. And Kirsten and another lady are housemates from there, big lady. Right, I kept forgetting her name, and I'm like, I didn't say anything. Nobody buzzed me. It started bothering me. And with Rhonda Campbell Holmes, she used to live off of 24 56 East Street before with Charlotte Manor before. I was there visiting a while back, looking at the numbers on the street, and there's a different number. It looks more like a house now from Lafayette. I lived there for 4 years. I would know. Then she switched over as manager to Chippers, and I tried to see Jesse there, and they sent me away. And then he wasn't there anymore. And I was like, I trusted you. I've known you fuckers for 4 years, but they were very horrible people, turns out. And I was told that Jesse, oh yeah, he sees you that way, and he was going through a lot. And I heard that he was living there, so I went up there to the front gate, and I saw Carrie, and I saw someone else, and they said something to me about it. I'm like, he doesn't, he can't come here right now because he sees you this way. And then he was working at the on 16th Street, and said very evil people. They were. He was working as to cleaning up buses, and he was a very hardworking, good kid, and I love that kid. He was like his oldest sister, and Bobby's our brother, and he worked there, and if I was hearing it, he doesn't like attention, so he doesn't want the attention around. Whenever I'm around, just like get a lot of attention, he didn't want the attention. I didn't know that it could have been the opposite round, so I avoided. But I knew where he was working, and I avoided it because I didn't want him to get and scared or intimidated because he was a very private person, and so I was aware where he was around. Next thing I know, he's gone. He's gone. Next thing I know, he's gone. And how the hell did he end up in Bow Bridge? How the hell did he end up in Lafayette? How the hell did he? And they raped for this. Who knows how many times they raped him? Just Renee has everything to do with that. Kept his disability money and kicked him out and made him homeless in Long Beach. And he had. And Renee took advantage and said, go and live with me. It's available too. And he tried to do the same shit with me, and I didn't. I wasn't convinced. And next thing I know, Jesse's and he had Tourette's syndrome, so I couldn't keep track of him because this fucker kept getting in the way. It's Renee. And he turns out to be a fucking war criminal. I found out from these freaks here. They were just talking about it, and he slammed one of our own military women, and she was crying, and she was sobbing, and picked up a fucking brick, and he whammed it on her face, and she died. And they were laughing at her after she was dead at the bench beside and back of him, and it was Sandra Gonzalez. And I'm sitting here, a few months ago, over 90 days ago, I'm thinking, shit, yeah, I was horrified, and they're laughing about it. They're walking around like they've done nothing wrong, and they've got stems, and the other one's working at La Bosatina. She has really short hair, looks like her, and the real one was working, I think, at Starbucks and changed her face, and so it's like was working. Thank God for big favors. And then he started talking about what they've done to Dennis, and he was our nephew, and at Wellspring he was there. They didn't tell me he was related to me. A beautiful little boy, curly hair, really beautiful little boy. I saw him. I think they took my glasses. They broke my glasses, so I couldn't see very well. So I was in Santa Monica walking down the pier, and it turned. It was very, very blurry. So I saw a little boy with his hair flat, like sideways. So I didn't recognize him. And then I go, that's probably a lookalike. And I usually don't say anything to kids I don't know because it's not healthy. Turns out it was him. Next to Michael, Veterans for Peace. And I figured, you know what? They're ridiculing him. They're ridiculing him because he actually has They're ridiculing him because he has curly hair, beautiful curly hair, and Michael just put and he wasn't aware of it. And when I was in Lafayette, I was looking through some clothing. That's what they do. They think that people will forget what I'm talking about, or everyone will forget what's happening because they distract me like we're stupid like they are. That's exactly what they do. So I was at 615 West Simcoe. Evil people, very evil people. 615 West Simcoe at St. Joseph's at Stella Maris. And it was a donation box. And and I picked a white long sleeve shirt and I put it on. It's too big. You know, I didn't realize that they were mocking me, making fun of me, because Dennis was already dead. They raped him in Alameda, and that was prior to a rape that he went through. Three men on him that were naked, and I could see their dicks hanging out. And somebody tried to show me, and afterwards, and he was naked. He's like, "Oh no, it's gonna happen again. He's gonna have to endure it." And she wants me in. That's her problem.
I will sue you, lady. I will fucking sue you. Denise, can you come in here? I will sue you, lady. I mean it.
It's live.